Good afternoon. Coming up on the evening. Coming up on 4 o'clock, I think. I don't know how close. I didn't pay that close attention. But good afternoon. Early evening. EagleNick audit. I am EagleNick, and I'm live at the Burr Park here in downtown Dalton, Georgia. Now, I went by and seen that probation department at the Georgia Probation Services Incorporated and was informed that I did indeed have to report there. Now, I've come to find out that not only do I have a $1,000 fine, but I also have to pay a $600 something plus in court costs. So my total fine and court costs is, might as well say, $1,700. And then I had to pay $55 a month probation fee. So that means I have to come up with $300 every month for the 7 months, maybe a little bit more than the $300, or EagleNick audits will be going back to jail because he was exercising his constitutional rights at the United States Post Office in downtown Dalton, thereby receiving a wrongful conviction. I had my constitutional rights violated, and now EagleNick has more stress upon him, having to worry about how I'm going to be able to come up with $2,400 by July the 18th of 2025, when my probation will officially be over. Now, I have not been able to make that kind of money off of YouTube. I have come close 1 month because of all of the super thanks and the super chats. Now, EagleNick does not like to ask people for money, so all of those supers were voluntary basis where people voluntarily did it. I did not ask it or request it. They were and are greatly appreciated to help my YouTube channel. Now, EagleNick did not know when I started standing up for people's rights that it was going to cost me so severely that EagleNick was going to have to spend 2.5 months in jail, losing all of his cats that he had took care of for 2 years by them being took to animal control by his brother. Now just more trouble on top of the other trouble. More stress, more anxiety. Hello, TE200. Justin, how's it going? EagleNick is sorry that he's running off at the mouth. Hello, Javi. It looks like before the probation period ends, EagleNick will probably be back in jail. I may just have to talk to him and see if they can just let me serve time to cover the fines and everything, because I do not know any other way that I'm going to be able to come up with that kind of money. 7 months to come up with nearly $3,000 is about impossible. Now you will see they have a big Christmas tree here in the ground now at Burr Park in downtown Dalton, Georgia. Well, my sentence was just 12 months with 5 months to serve and a $1,000 fine. But when I went to the probation office, Georgia Probation Services Incorporated, I was informed that I also had to pay court costs for a total of nearly $1,700 right at it, a $1,000 fine plus the court costs, and then $55 a month for 7 months. That is $330 for 6 months. So that is $395 just in probation fees. Good afternoon, Wilco, Roger. How you doing, brother? I believe this is the first time I've seen you since I've been back. Since I got out after I did the 2.5 months in the Whitfield County Detention Center. Now, EagleNick has found out he has to pay nearly $3,000 in fines, a $1,000 fine, court costs, and surcharges, and $55 a month probation fee for 7 months, nearly $3,000 that I just do not know how I'm going to come up with it. I'm going to try my very level best, but I've said many times before that EagleNick audits is not well to do. I am one of the poorest of the poor, even though I'm not homeless. I do not receive any type of government check. I do not receive food stamps. I don't have a job. I do not have a vehicle other than my bicycle. Now, I have been monetized to where I receive money from YouTube, from the advertisers for the ads. And when people send me super chats, super thanks, and super stickers. Now, that is when people voluntarily do that because I do not ask for those. I don't want to have to turn into a bum asking people for money because of standing up for the Constitution. I still plan to appeal my conviction. Let's see if this bench is dry. EagleNick don't want to have to go away again to jail, but it might be unavoidable. I could not afford a real lawyer. I didn't have the money for a lawyer, so I had to have a public defender. And you see where that got me. So how you been doing there, Wilco Roger that? Look, there's a bird on top of that star on the Christmas tree. Hello, birdie. Well, that bird's just resting right on the top of that star. It looks more like a snowflake than a star. It's got too many points and round spots. So maybe that's supposed to be a snowflake instead of a star. But that is a live bird. It wasn't there a while ago. So is anybody going to chat or not? I've still not been able to figure out the right time when it's best to do a live stream. YouTube is still limiting the number of people that comes on to the live stream. I wish they would take that off of there where I could get the views I was getting from 20 to 70,000 or more. It would really help the channel grow and maybe even help me to get some of them supers, even though I don't ask for them, where I don't have to worry and stress about all this monetary obligations that's been heaped up on me. This is a look at the downtown streets right here. That is Crawford Street that crosses. And this is South Hamilton Street. Now, they have a lot of concerts here at this park in the summer. I don't reckon they have too much activities up here during the winter or the holidays. Oh, EagleNick Audits. I'd like to thank you all for being here. I probably won't stay on here long. There's nobody talking, chatting. There's really not many people on here. It shows 4 people now. I was hoping maybe this time of the day would be a good time for people to come on and get the views, but it just does not look like that it's going to work, that there's going to be any traffic. Jojo, how you doing? How you doing? I'm trying, JoJo. I'm telling you, I really am. I went and seen that probation officer at the Georgia Probation Services Incorporated and found out I do indeed have to report to probation. I found out that not only do I have a $1,000 fine, but I also had to pay court costs and surcharges of nearly $700 more. Plus, I had to pay $55 a month probation fee until July the 18th of 2025. Now, by my math, that is over $2,000 that I need to be able to pay $300 a month every month just to make sure that I don't get behind and don't end up going back to jail for not being able to pay the fine, the court costs, and the surcharges, all because I was exercising my constitutional rights, doing live streams. There goes our friend with code enforcement. He blowed and waved at EagleNick. He knowed I was watching my live stream. He asked me how I was doing. I wish he'd come back and talk to us. He's turning down that road, so maybe he's gonna come back. I wouldn't mind having an interview with him, just see how he's been doing. But EagleNick, I don't have the money for a lawyer, JoJo. I wish I did. You know, that was the problem in the start with, that I didn't have the money for a lawyer. Because I could not get a lawyer, I was convicted. There's the code enforcement fella again. We're going to walk over here and talk to him. I can't remember his name now because it's been 2.5 months or longer since I saw him. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you doing?
Just doing a live stream. They convicted me. I just got out the 13th.
Well, good to see you.
I went and seen the probation officer. I didn't know for sure I had to go because they didn't give me no kind of paperwork when I got out saying nothing. I knew I got 12 months with 5 months to serve and a $1,000 fine. Now she says that I also got court costs and surcharges. So the total is over $1,600 something. Might as well say $1,700.
Oh, wow.
$55 a month probation fee. So we're looking at $2,200 got to be paid by July the 18th. I wasn't able to make a penny off YouTube while I was locked up.
It's good to see you out.
It's good to see you. You doing all right?
Yes, sir. Well, you have a good one.
All right, you have a blessed day, brother. Hey, what was your name again?
Zach Hollis.
Zach Hollis. That's right. I couldn't remember. Both of y'all's names was Hollis, but it just slipped my mind.
I'm Zach.
All right, Zach, you have a blessed day, sir. Thank you for your service. This is Mr. Zach Hollis with DALTON Code Compliance. Code Inspector. But see, now that is how a public servant is supposed to be. I have nothing but respect for Zach Hollis. I do not have no disrespect for no Dalton Police Department officer, no Whitfield County Sheriff's Department officer, no judge, nobody in the court system or any government. All I do is make a record of exactly what I encounter, whether it be a recording or a live stream, because the live stream, after it processes and uploads, turns into a video, which is still a recording, providing a hard copy record of exactly what is going on. No he said, she said, rumors, or hearsay. Just the truth, exactly what is happening, nothing more, nothing less. Now, as far as I know, I think we are still live, but I'm not seeing no new comments. I would appreciate it if somebody would start talking again so I know that I'm still here and I'm not just talking to myself. But I have to come up with something. Hello, speak the truth. Okay, how have you been, brother? I've been all right. No, you cannot get a lawyer pro bono. If you can't afford one, you get appointed a public defender, which is what I had. I did not get the representation that I deserved or that I asked for. I asked it for motions to be filed, a motion for discovery and a motion to suppress. They would not do that. By July the 18th of 2025, which is 7 months away, I will have had to pay right at $2,200, I think it is. It's roughly $300 a month that I've got to be able to pay, or I could end up going back to jail. So it sort of has EagleNick facing anxiety and maybe a panic attack or two. But I'm really, really trying. Yeah, they don't want me out here doing what I do because, like I said before I got locked up, before anything ever happened, I do not sugarcoat. I do not sit, I do not beg, I do not roll over, and I do not play dead. My first name is Stephen, but my last name is not King. I do not bait anyone to get a response. I do not have a script. I don't tell them what to say. I do not try to provoke anyone to any kind of action or any kind of talking. There was some people that was happy and some people it just didn't matter. They're in jail no matter who's the president. You know, I was trying to get a presidential pardon, but lo and behold, I come to find out the president cannot pardon someone convicted of a misdemeanor crime. They can only pardon people who are convicted of federal charges. Now, it would look like the president could pardon anybody, whether it was federal, state, city, county, because they are the president of the whole United States, every state, every city, every county. Now, to get a pardon, I had to get it through the Georgia Pardons and Parole Board. They really do not want me on the street. You know, I've not done nothing to any of them. They act like, yeah, I seen her earlier. I've not did any recording when or live streaming when she was around. She's not been in no area that I was live streaming. She got ran off from under the bridge, I think. Good afternoon. Yeah, she's okay. She's still hanging in there. She's still the same Sherry. She still gets mad and cusses and raises Cain, but she's still homeless, still lives on the street, still faces all the problems that she was facing, the mental health issues, just life in general, I guess. Yeah, they ran her off out from under the bridge. I do not know where she is staying now. They ran all of the people off from around the, down by the railroad tracks. Good afternoon, Inferno. Great to see you, brother. EagleNick Audits, and we are live here at the Burr Park in downtown Dalton, Georgia. Let's check to see if these bathrooms are still locked. I'm sure they are. They always keep them locked. A public park, but no public restrooms. I'm going to check the men's. I'm not going to check the women's, but I will check the men's. And they are locked still. So they do not have any public restrooms here, even though they are public. Well, Inferno, really all is not good. I went and seen the probation department, Georgia Probation Services Incorporated, today, and talked to the lady who's assigned as my probation officer, and was informed that not only do I have a $1,000 fine, that I have right at $700 in court costs, plus I had to pay $55 a month probation fee, over $300 a month that I had to pay to be able to have that paid off by July the 18th of 2025, or EagleNick Audits could end up being back in jail. All because I'm poor. I could not afford a good lawyer, a real lawyer, a constitutional lawyer, or it would have never made it to arraignment. I mean, I would have never even had to went and entered any kind of plea. It definitely would have went to court. Look, that bird's still sitting up there on that Christmas tree. No, Brett Ree, I see you, brother. The last thing I seen you say was, "You're not alone." You're not alone, and now you said, "Am I silent?" Now, I know I'm not alone. I seen a man walking back and forth down through yonder by the Wells Fargo on the sidewalk, who looked like he might be an off-duty police officer or a detective, was walking back and forth, kept looking up this way. But of course, he would not come up through here while I'm on a live stream. Now, they might try to accost me or talk to me or say something to me after the live stream is over. How have you been, Brett Rhea? It's been a long time since I saw you. Yeah, Inferno, it is. They make it where it's about impossible for somebody that's poor to pay it. You know, when you don't have a job. Thank you so much, Brett Rhea, for that $10 super. That'll help to go towards that there fine and stuff. I have to save every penny I can get, and the YouTube will only give me like $5.50 to maybe, if I'm lucky, $6 of that $10. Good afternoon, El Chupacabra. How are you doing? Is this Mr. Mike El Chupacabra? Yeah, I'm telling you there, Brett Rhea, and everybody, thank y'all so much. Now, Inferno, if I had about 1,000 people to be able to do that, I wouldn't have to worry about that there fines and stuff. I wouldn't be having them there doggone anxiety and panic attacks. Mr. Mike's. I thought that was Mr. Mike. It gets real discouraging when all you do is try to stand up for the Constitution, to stand up for the red, white, and blue, to stand up for the poor and the homeless, and your government just wants to beat you down. Now, they doing this to try to make me out to be an example, to let other people around here know to, hey, don't you try to do what EagleNick does. Because if they can convict me so easily, so wrongly, without me committing any crimes, just think how they convict other people. I was in jail with a fella that was riding his bicycle to the store at night. He had lights on the front of his bike and a red light on the back, what all you're required to have by the law. And he was stopped by a Whitfield County Sheriff's Department officer, and he had got scared. He parked his bike, he got scared and started to walk up to the patrol car, but he got scared and he took off running. The officer tased him in the back. He ended up falling, and somehow after he fell and was tased, he ended up having his head busted in the back of his head. He fell face first, but his head got busted in 2 or 3 places in the back. He had one of his wrists got broke. I don't remember which hand it was, and one of his big toes got broke on one of his feet. Don't remember which one it was. That was all because he rode his bicycle to the store at night. Now, that Whitfield County Sheriff's Department officer did not have no legal authority to stop Mr. Bobby Wedgeworth while he was riding his bicycle at night. He was not committing a crime. He was not in the road disrupting traffic or anything. Georgia does not have a stop and ID law for pedestrians. Unless they are committing a crime, they are not to be stopped. Yet they do it every single day, violating a person's Fourth Amendment rights, making them identify themselves, violating their Ninth Amendment rights, which the Ninth Amendment recognizes that we, the people, have even more rights than are written into the Constitution itself. His 14th Amendment rights to have equal protection under the Constitution. Now, all that happened to him just because he was a black male. there. I'm telling you, that's a police officer. That other guy's been walking around, I guess, telling me somebody over there recording. That one guy coming up there and shook that guy's hand is a police officer. I can see his uniform from here. There's our friend Joey. There's Joey. He's got his little dog with him. We're going to keep an eye out down through here to make sure this police department officer don't harass these homeless people walking down through here. He sure is sweating up here, though. Now, I'm going to go back up this way, seeing how that school bus is coming down the bridge. Now, them school buses are empty. School is done out. They done take the kids home. But we're going to get turned back around to where we can see this police officer over here. He keeps looking up this way. He's welcome to come up here if he wants to. You know, I'm in a public park exercising my constitutional rights. I'm not disrupting or bothering anybody. I can hear roosters on the street over from across the railroad tracks crowing this early. Hear multiple roosters. R&R Paranormal. I know exactly what the Constitution states, brother. You don't need to tell a constitutionalist that they need to learn the Constitution, because I know what the Constitution states. The thing about it is our government does not respect the Constitution, and they do not abide by it. Yep, the Eagle has landed, and they're sweating the Eagle. I don't know why they would be looking up this way. You know, I'm not down there around that bank. I don't know if it's somebody in the bank called the law, because I'm up here live streaming in the park. Plainview Doctrine. Hello, Mr. Good Time. How you doing? How you doing? I see you have not changed R&R Paranormal. I'm pretty sure I've seen you on here before. Why don't you tell me how I'm breaking any laws by doing what I'm doing right now, R&R? Good afternoon, Alan Davis. How you doing, brother? Oh, EagleNick is up here at Burr Park in downtown Dalton. Come up here to check out the Christmas tree. I was letting everybody know I went to see that probation department, Georgia Probation Services Incorporated, and met with my probation officer, Miss Butler. Now, I knew I had a $1,000 fine in that there 7 months probation. I did not know that I had to pay court costs and surcharges, totaling along with that fine to add up to nearly right at $1,700, as well as a $55 a month probation fee for a grand total that it will bring my fine court cost surcharges up to about $2,200 will be paid by July the 18th with the Dalton Police Department. Now, I believe that was the officer that was standing in there talking. Well, if I'm not breaking any laws, brother, how come I got arrested? Because I wasn't breaking no laws for what they charged me and convicted me of. You know, exercising your constitutional rights is not a crime. You don't have to get smart like that, because I didn't get smart with you. Now, I changed that time out to just 10 seconds. I believe in free speech, so I don't care what they say to old EagleNick, as long as he is not offensive or they are not offensive to anyone else. I thank you, sir, for standing up for EagleNick. Well, all I know to say to you, R&R Paranormal, if you ever have your rights violated the way I have, and so many people has, not only in Georgia or the city of Dalton, Georgia, or any of the other states of the United States, that maybe you will feel differently if it happens to you or somebody close to you. There's a big difference in sitting back, not having anything invested in it, and saying, yeah, it was perfectly legal. JD 187. Great to see you, my friend. How are you doing this afternoon? Almost evening. I did not break no law. R&R, tell me what law I broke. Could you explain to me what law I broke by exercising my rights at the post office? It wasn't because of the post office. It was because of my live streams at the Dalton Police Service Center, Whitfield County Courthouse, the Whitfield County Sheriff's Department, the Department of Driver Services, and all the many other places, the Walnut Avenue Bridge, the Welcome to Dalton sign there at the corner of Walnut Avenue and Thornton Avenue. I was charged with criminal trespass damage of $500 or less. Now, when I told the public defender that they would have to drop that charge because they could not show any damage, because I did not commit a crime and I did not do any damage, she had to have told them, because when I actually went to trial, they just charged me with criminal trespassing. Now, criminal trespassing in the state of Georgia is someone who knowingly stays on the property of another, which is private property. The post office is public property owned by every single person in the United States of America. every single person in the United States of America is free to walk inside a post office 24 hours a day. The entrance doors into a post office is never locked. You can go inside and use the self-service area to purchase stamps, to mail letters, to mail packages, to do all your business to do with the mail or anything else, whether it be a package or the mail, personal mail. Yeah, and that's the thing about it. That is the thing about it. Per postal regulations, which is federal law, unless a police department has a written security agreement or a memorandum of understanding with the United States Postal Service, police officers do not have any arrest powers or any powers on postal property. Now, the Dalton Police Department does not have any type of written security agreement or a memorandum of understanding. Now, that public defender did check on that and said that they didn't have one, but she just did not understand, or she just would not represent me and state that in court, because those Dalton Police Department officers were in violation of federal law by carrying their firearms onto postal property. They are not even allowed to have a firearm in their patrol car on postal property unless they have a written security agreement or a memorandum of understanding, which is a written agreement as well, not a verbal agreement. Without a written security agreement or a written memorandum of understanding, the only people who has arrest powers on postal property is the Postal Security Force. That is why the post office has their own security force. DYJ, good afternoon. How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, Alan, that is the truth. If I had a good lawyer, a constitutional lawyer, I never would have even went up for arraignment. Those charges would have been dropped from the very start. But because I am poor and I'm not well-to-do, did not have the money to hire an attorney, had to have a public defender through the Georgia Public Defender's Office, I was wrongfully convicted, having my constitutional rights violated for exercising my constitutional rights. Now, R&R Paranormal can say anything they want to say, but I know what the postal regulations say about police officers and whether or not that they have jurisdiction or they have any police powers on postal property without a written security agreement or a written memorandum of understanding. DYL, thank you so much for that $2 super. EagleNick thinks that you are the one who is super, and I really, truly and greatly appreciate that super. I do not believe that you're even supposed to have to pay court costs on a misdemeanor. You know, a misdemeanor is a simple charge, yet they tried EagleNick all this in state court, superior court. They brought in Judge Jack Partain, who had been retired for 8 years, to prosecute me. I had the district attorney and the assistant district attorney prosecuting me. I did not just have one district attorney I was up against, I had two. Michael Kunkel, the true spitter. How you doing? How you doing? Michael Kunkel, Brett Rhea, Inferno, Alan Davis, R&R Paranormal, DYL. Or is that DYI? Might be DYI. I'm sorry if I'm saying seeing it wrong. Sean Little. Mr. Good Time, or just Good Time. I'm pretty sure that's still Mr. Good Time. JD 187. That other one, I can't read what it says. Preston, Preton, something like that, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard for me to read that writing. It's just so small. DYL, okay. I'm wearing my boots. Got my pants. They got holes in them. I might freeze to death when it gets real cold because I've only got one pair of pants that ain't got no hose in them. I'm not really prepared for winter. Won't be able to take no money that I get to buy any clothes because every penny I get is going to have to go to the government. You know what I mean, Vern? Yeah, I've not been wearing Crocs since I got out. Now, I did have to wear them home because that's what I was wearing when I went to jail. I had on my Crocs, my blue jeans, and a t-shirt, and that's all I had to wear home. Now, I did have a pair of socks on with them that time because somebody had gave me a pair of socks in jail. It's really not that cold out here either. Now, there's that bird back a while ago. It was on the center of that snowflake. Now it's off to the side. R&R Paranormal. Just because you say you're right don't mean you're right. You are sadly mistaken and misinformed. Thank you so much for coming in, though. I appreciate you coming in. Like I said, love, whether you love me or hate me, it's all right with me. You're welcome to come on anytime. You don't have to argue. DYL, thank you so much. That is so awesome. That is super duper. And if I could get about 300 more of those, I would have that fine and everything took care of by the next few days. You know what I mean, Vern? I believe they're trying to stress EagleNick out to make me have a panic attack or anxiety attack. And I know there's more than one of them that would like to just flat out attack me. You know what I mean, Vern? Yeah, DYL, I let them decide to do that though, brother. I don't ask people for them. That's why, but I really and truly appreciate every super thank that I've ever got and everyone I get. You know, there are some other channels where people will have their moderators to be asking people to use the super chats or, you know, I did have my Cash App posted where people could send it straight to Cash App where I received it all, and YouTube didn't take around 70% after taxes and everything. I told you that there, that'll get you a 24-hour timeout, brother. I told you, you go offending anybody else. I'm not going to put up with it, and I'm not going to allow it. I clearly and plainly stated, you say what you want to about me, but you don't talk to anybody else on this live stream the way you talk to EagleNick. Oh, this, you know what I mean, Vern? Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you. Oh, I knew that. Like I said, I don't care what they say about me. I believe in free speech. But now when you start talking about other people and it turns into hate speech, you know, to be so disrespectful to somebody just because they're stating an opinion just like they were. Good afternoon. Jack Walls, Newfound Life Today. Dinkus Pinkus, great to see you again, my friend. Yeah, it has been. I had been incarcerated for 2.5 months after I was wrongfully convicted for trespassing at the United States Post Office in downtown Dalton, Georgia, all because I was exercising my constitutional rights. I had to serve 2.5 months in jail, got credit for 2 for 1, so it counted for 5 months. I have 7 months left on probation where I had to pay nearly $300 a month, maybe a little bit over that actually, counting fines, the $1,000 fine, court costs, and surcharges, and the $55 a month probation fee. I had to pay nearly $400, $300, $400 a month for 7 months. By the grace of God, I'm hoping everything will work out right and I won't have to worry about it and I don't have to go back to jail. They're really trying, Dinkus Pinkus. You just don't know. You know, the maximum penalty for criminal trespass, damage of $500 or less, is 12 months and or $1,000 fine. Yet they added a total banishment from the post offices in the Conasauga Judicial Circuit. Now, I was informed that it's Whitfield and Murray counties, as well as charging me with court costs and other surcharges and a $55 a month probation fee, bringing the total to around $2,200. There's old Rico now. Now we got a Rico come in. I guess old Rico is also R&R Paranormal, just got a different YouTube account. Now some of them, they got multiple YouTube accounts because they wouldn't be able to live if they wasn't able to go troll the channel of their choice. You know what I mean, Burn? That sounds like some type of government vehicle there, but I don't see nobody. Good afternoon, David Williams. How you doing? How you doing? Great to see you, brother. Great to see you. Now, we just hit 1 hour and 3 minutes. Does anybody have the time in the Eastern Standard Time Zone? Eastern Standard Time. I think it's about time I'm going to have to haul so I can go down here and eat dinner at Providence Ministries, because I sure ain't got no money to buy nothing to eat. Having to pay everything I can possibly get a hold of to our government. Yeah, I got 14 minutes. It's only a couple of miles south of here. So I'm going to have to go ahead and end the live stream and head on out that way to make sure I don't miss out on that food too. You know what I'm saying? Rico, I understand that I did not commit no crimes. I understand that the United States Constitution is the law of the land. It is the law of the United States of America. I was exercising my constitutional rights every time I've ever did a short video or a live stream. I have not broken any laws. I was not causing any type of disruption at the post office. I did not stop anyone from performing their business. I didn't stop their direction of travel, make them where they wasn't able to freely move. I did not do any damage. All I did was stand up for the Constitution, the red, white, and the blue, defending the constitutional rights of me and you. You know what I mean, Burn? United we stand, but divided we fall. EagleNick, all this. Hey, I love you all. Whether you love me or hate me, I appreciate you for being here. I'll see you the next time. But for now, it's time to hear. Take care of yourselves, but please take care of each other. EagleNick. Oh, this. I am EagleNick. And I'm out.